Sitei ko koɗo da hoɗi e tonƴe Washington State a heɓali e ɗe jawle iwrayɗe ka laamu janu ma unemployment insurance on sabu koɗu yagal ma ka Washington ton te am fewtodiri e caɗele ɗuɗuɗe fewde o COVID-19 pandemic dogu joni yaha waɗa apply fi o COVID-19 immigrant relief fund sa waɗi apply tawi noon ɓe jaɓi hiɗa wawi heɓude ko ɓuuri e fanɗude wuluure dola ɗum ɗo no wona ñamande kadi a yoɓata hay fus afta information ji maɗi nonno e juuɗe laaɓuɓe min meeɗata sendidude ɗi e laamu ngu ma min jonna ɗi ɓe andira ko ɓe noddirte ay hiɗa wawi wadde apply ma noddame min wallitoma waɗa apply e fula ma ka pula ɗum ɗo noon fuɗɗoto ila september 19 2022 yaha ha ndu lewru kotonduɓe innata november 14 2022 ala no yoɓugol hay fus ko free si a faalanon men walla ma waɗa apply e pula hiɗa wawi noddude Washington West African Centre
The president is just nurturing this young democracy and he does not want to interfere and he wants due course to take its place. So in that case, the first time ever in history, the Gambia has a seat on the United Nations Human Rights for a 3-year term beginning January 2022. It's a laudable achievement by this government, and I myself, from my end, this is a big development. So like I said, development is not only physical appearance or financial activities. Speaker, when it comes to agriculture, we are made to know that there are 8 major projects that are undergoing at a tune of $294.13 US. It's a laudable support, laudable achievement. But our concern is the end result of these projects, whether these projects also will end up being like other projects that we inherited. Because my colleagues mentioned it here, they went on oversight visit, but the results of other projects were not motivated, we are not encouraging, we are not least happy with it. So we are calling on the minister to please take charge, take responsibility, so that these projects will change people's life at the end of the day. So, and he's also telling us that there are a lot of hectares of rice, like almost 6,000 hectares of rice that are being cultivated. It's a good initiative if it's rightly taken care of. And in that juncture, it will be very important that government put on state-owned farms and take good care of these farms. At the end of the day, the harvest that are realized will benefit the Gambians, and perhaps we may come to a time that rice importation will no more, and Gambia can feed itself.
And if you look at most of these structures, please quote me right, most of them are not Gambians. They'll be here coming, next day they are gone back to their hometown. And we'll be here feeling the pain. I think it is important to make a joint committee within the Ministry of Environment environment, Ministry of Works, and the city, and they are only not building structures, but they are also blocking the waterways. We cry for fish that there is no more fish in this country. We attribute it to the foreign people who are coming here. Yes, that is one contributing factor. But if there are no more mangroves, where are we? These are the breeding space for the fish. If they don't have any breeding area, where are they going to breed? And the worst thing of all is, in case there are heavy rains, when there are heavy rains in this country, you connect it with also the high flow of the river coming going back to its normal areas. If these two things comes together, where are we heading to? It's going to be a big disaster then. Because the water has no place to drop, the rainwater has no place to go, and the river also is coming back to join. Then that disaster will be more than what we have observed during these past days. So let these two ministries come together and work and then see what is possible. Go around and see what is happening, because if not, it's going to be a problem. Coming to the Ministry of Health, the last time I saw a press release talking about this paracetamol issue, paracetamol syrup, that there's a ban on this paracetamol syrup. Why was the ban? Because it is very harmful, according to what I heard. That's to the extent of it might even bring kidney issues with regards to the young ones that we are having in this country. Honorable Minister, I think it is important we look at the medicine coming into this country. What can we do to control, or even have a lab where we can test this medication coming into this country to qualify that they are fit to be used? Because there are many pharmacies in this country. We call them cheap pharmacies, cheap ones. Because the medication that they sell, most of these people within the KMC, I won't name the name of the pharmacy, but if you go there, currently they are queuing. If you ask them, they say the Fayomba. Is it cheap because it's giving the quality? Is it cheap because of what? Should it be consumed by the people? Because if you are sick, they prescribe a medicine for you. What are you expecting? To be cured. But if you go there and take the wrong medication, then next minute, instead of curing yourself, you end up doing what? Preparing yourself to go where? To this Jola compound. So I think it's important, Honorable Minister, we control the medicine coming into this country, and then see how best we can have a lab testing area where this medication can test it and be qualified. If they are passed and qualified, then we can allow our people to use it. Coming to the Minister of Education, yes, we talk about bad results. I think it's important we go look at the system. What is the problem? And where is the problem? For me, I'm not talking to government alone. This is collective, including myself as a parent and government as the one who is there to control and guide. Are we controlling our kids? Are we training our kids? That's a question to all of us. Coming back to the ministry, we have a lot of schools in this country. There is no more a failed student. Every student always passes your exams. If you have aggregate 54, maybe Honorable Billy Kamara has already opened a new school He only take aggregate 54. Admit you in his school. What next? Only looking for the money you pay into him, not about the quality that your child requires. There used to be a time, during our time, there were cut-off marks in this country. People struggle. We have few schools in this country, few high schools in this country, but you always have good students. Even the one attending secondary schools were excellent students. So I think we have to look at the educational system and see how best we can improve on that system. Whether we are going to bring back the old system, or we see how best we can improve on those areas. It's going to be very, very important. Coming to the defense and security of this country, we always try to blame them. One of my MPs made mention of the crime rate in this country, rate of killings. Yes, why and what is the cause of this? Why is this happening? It's a big question. Our young ones are killing innocent people. Young ones, within the age of 15 to 20. Anytime you hear murder, it is in that category. Why? Because of what they are using. The drugs they are using. During our time, they call it D5, but it's no more D5, I think it's D25 now. A young boy at the age of 15 years, taking this kind of tablets, where are you? You are nowhere. You'll be unconscious, and you can kill any minute, because there's nothing controlling you. There is nothing trying to tell you what you are doing is wrong, because you are no more a human being. And there are strength drugs that they are using in this country. I think we have to start controlling, because they will do everything to become drunk. They will do everything to go out and get money from people. We are no more secure. That's true. We are no more secure. But we have to help the security. If I have my boy child in the house, he goes out late at night and comes late at night. Me, I'll be sleeping. I don't care about him. Next minute, if he kills, I start complaining. and then give him another problem again. That was for all the prisons in this country, $60 million. They want to feed themselves. They have food, and everything comes from there. This is why during the TRRC, you had that full of porridge as they normally eat. I think it's important we look at these prisons, the way people are living there, and how best we can improve the prison service to make sure that they are well taken care of.
Sorry, a point of correction, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, Bede's observation, sure. Just want him to, yeah. Yeah, I just want him to withdraw a certain word that if you look at the prison, some are guilty and some are innocent. You said that some are innocent and they are there, that is serious. Yeah.
No, while the word innocent, somebody might be accused. Why he's not, I mean, he's not guilty of his crime. So he's an innocent person. You might send somebody to jail because of, you are not even sure what you are doing. So this is what I'm saying. They are innocent of the crime, but they were charged guilty. But currently they are innocent. Thank you very much. Coming to the agricultural sector of it, I think, we have young Gambians who are trying to venture into poultry, trying to work hard to forget about this back way issue. They started and they have been helped by international organizations, giving them money, giving them funds to operate. But now it's no more happening. Why? Because they don't have the animal feed to feed those animals. We have a factory in Josman, around Kamalo. The factory is well organized. All the equipments are there, but it's not operating. Why? Why is that factory not operating? That's mean the country is losing. Because the land belongs to the government, so let's look at the agreement that was made between the government and that individual. Because it was a government land. I can remember when I was a councillor, that land was used by my people, but they came to say government needs it. So let's government look into those things and then try to bring up that factory to be into operations. It will help the government people. Ministry of Works. During the president's statement, there are a lot of money being pumped in that ministry. Honorable Minister, I think in this country, we are very competent young Gambians.
Honorable member, address the speaker.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, sorry. Honorable Speaker, I think there are very young Gambians in this country who have their companies per se, and I think they can do a lot when they team up with the foreign companies. But foreign companies will come to this country, whether it is aid or grant, build and go. They will give us the grant or they will give us the loan and go back with the money. They will come with the knowledge. They will come with the equipment. When they are going back, they go back with everything. The lake was empty. Honorable Speaker, what can we do as a government? Yes, we are not saying no to them, but when they come here, we need that knowledge from them. One, we need those equipment also to be maintained by the country. From here, we can build the capacity of contractors and our local people. It's very important. There is concern going within Carnifing, the road construction in Carnifing is coming to 8 months now. I think it's still less than 1%. What about 1 and 2? Nothing is happening. Why? We need to know. And these are, most of them are concrete pavements. They can be done by Gambians. Most of them are concrete pavements. They can be done by Gambians. And if I thought it was given to a Gambian contractor with this delay, and next minute we terminate or we charge you liquidated damages. Why is not happening? We need to know why. Let them expedite the process because people are there and they are suffering. All these roads are blocked. Nobody has access to where you want to go. So let them look at it properly. Minister of Finance, Honorable Speaker, I think, as some of my colleagues have mentioned, that this country will depend on tax and revenue. It's very important we control our revenue. It's very important we bring in measures that can tighten our revenue. Yes, they collect, but after collections, what next? Are they collecting what they are supposed to collect? Or after collecting what they are supposed to collect, is it going at the right place? That's a big question. Coming to the GRA and the Government Port Authority. Honorable Speaker, our ports, I call it's dying out because the containers coming in this country are now less than as before. Most of these people are now going via Senegal. Senegal, Karang to the Gambia. Or Senegal, Farafenye to Casamance. And the other thing also, they are also building on other ports in Funjui. And if this port is ready, with the one they are proposing in Ziganshore, where are we as a country? Then the best thing is we look at our tariff. Look at our tariff and come down with our tariff and compete between the regions that we are living as borders. Let's compete with them by bringing our tariff down. It's better we collect more, allow people to come on board, allow young Gambians to be employed within the industry than allowing everything to be going out of the Gambia. I think this place needs to be look at critically. Because to be honest, we need to expand the port. I don't know how far the expansion is going, but I think the port expansion needs to be fast-tracked. By fast-tracking the port expansion, we'll be expecting more vessels. And when we're expecting more vessels, by bringing our tariff down, I think it will definitely boost our revenue. But if not, we'll be collecting, and we don't know what we are collecting. So it's important for people to go around and see what is happening, because people are complaining that our ports are too expensive. Why are they expensive? We have to look at it properly and come with a solution. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Joshua. I now invite the Honorable Member for Opanyomi.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, let me first of all recognize the presence of the Vice President and other cabinet ministers here present. Honorable Minister, I think I won't take long, simply because many of the honorable members have celebrated many of the key issues. But let me first of all thank the President for fulfilling his cardinal constitutional requirement that's coming to this assembly to address the members and the nation about the government policies and programs and the challenges of his government. We are really appreciative of what he has done. Honorable Minister, Honorable Speaker, From the president's speech, he has deliberated on agriculture, where he has said that last year there was an increase from the harvest of many or the major field crops like groundnut, paddy rice, sesame, and other crops. But this was due to the accessibility and affordability of fertilizer. Somebody sitting down there, connect with somebody outside and make it 150. It's undetectable because the paper is clear. When the auditors come, they will say, right. Honorable members come for the oversight function, correct. But there's something fishy behind, but you don't know. We have to change. We have to change. That's not good. And that's the reason why honorable speak, a lot of projects are failing. Because at the end of the day, what happens is, if the contractor fails to deliver, you as a project coordinator or whatsoever you may call yourself in that particular place, you cannot force him to deliver because there's something that choke on your throat. And that's the fact. So we have to change our attitude. Honorable Speaker, I will go straight to the Minister of Works. There's an ongoing project in my constituency which was said by the President. That's the Hakala Road. And there's a lot of murmuring around. You know, the project is not going as we with the people of Upper Young. Though I've made a lot of follow-ups. But whatever may be the problem, I am appealing to the Ministry of Works. Let them do everything possible as soon as possible to resolve it. Because that's not the interest being completed. So that we can enjoy our tourism, we can enjoy our agriculture. Nonetheless, we have to thank the government for bringing the project to us. Honorable Speaker, I will just go straight to the tourism. Why the President said in page 26, number 3, turning to the culture subsector, if we may allow me, Honorable Speaker, to read in verbatim, because there's something I want to say.
Reference.
Yes, I'll make reference, indeed. That's what I'm doing exactly. Turning to the culture subsector in April of this year, the National Center for page 26 of Swana. 26. 3. Yes. Turning to the culture and subsector in April of this year, the National Center for Arts and Culture embarked on a multi-million dollars project geared towards strengthening national capacity for safeguarding intangible cultural heritages. I will stop there, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Upper Nyome is the most famous constituency in the Gambia. I've been saying this here over and over. And I have my reasons why. We have James Island, now we call it Kuntakinte Island. It's in Upper Nyome. Honorable members, if you don't know it from today. And Kuntakinte hails from Upper Nyome, the most famous man almost in Gambia and Africa somehow. And that's the reason why in safeguarding this historical heritage, Upper Nyome played an integral part. Because this James Island or Kuntakinte Island I'm talking about, Honorable Speaker, is getting eroded by the river every day. The jetty that's supposed to land and access the island is dilapidating. Even the local jetty that is there to get into the island is not in good condition. And the Ministry of Tourism is having this multi-million dollars project to preserve these heritages. What are they doing to preserve this important structure, the important resource of this country, which is in danger today? Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I don't think I can take much of your time, but I will still go back to the President's speech under the Ministry of Health, where the President tells about the important service these community ambulances are rendering to the community. That cannot be overemphasized. Because these are situated in one of the two key areas of Opanyamo 3, that is Pakawinjoku and Pascal. And one is being given to us to replace the ambulance at Nemakon. Honorable Speaker, this has really reduces the problems and the complications our people have been facing for the past 50 years. So we have to thank the President and the Minister and his entire team for what they have done for us. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Upper Nyome. I now invite the Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. But before I dwell into what I want to say, I will first of all say, because a member asked whether the Gambian youth are willing to work. Yes, they are, to be honest. And why I say that is because we believe we are the citadels of the nation, we are the cream of the society, and we are the current and the future leaders of this country. In saying that, I will start by thanking the President of the Republic of the Gambia for his marathon speech, and also understanding that the National Assembly is the apex authority that is given the powers by the Constitution to exercise oversight function over all government institutions, including the office of the President. And this is exactly what he has manifested by fulfilling one of his constitutional requirements. Honorable Speaker, I would just want all parliamentarians to understand that the sense of purpose is much more important than the sense of identity. That is the service. And this is what we really have to understand. And in doing so, my submission will be centered into 3 thematic areas, even though there were a lot of things that were mentioned or informed to us by the President during his speech. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, I will just make reference to page 37 of the SUNA, which talks about transport, works, and infrastructure. Number 4, that is point 4, page 37, number 4. And I can read. In the capital city of Banjul, the government rolled out the Banjul City Rehabilitation Project to reconstruct the city's dilapidated roads, sewage, and drains using local funds. Relentless efforts will continue to modernize Banjul. I think this is clear, but I can say it's not enough. We expect more as city dwellers. Why I am saying this? I am very much interested when it comes to the impact of the project, which will always be one of the most fundamental elements when it comes to the sustainability of this project. And we have seen what have happened during the recent flash flood in the city of Banjul, which we also believe it is one of the facets that contributed towards the flash flood that happened in the city of Banjul. So in that regard, our expectation was for the President, understanding that it is a local fund that we are using for the people to have more clear information about this project. Because I can tell you for real, this is the most talked about project in this country, even though we have the OIC project and other projects that are going on. But why the Banjul Rehabilitation Project? Because there are things that are hidden and there are things that needs to be clarified, and we, the people of Banjul, are requesting for those clarifications. In saying so, I will now want to talk about the health issues that the President shared with us. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, this is on page 16.5, which says, government's introduction of community ambulance services, following the distribution of 80 new ambulances in areas within or without health facilities, is widely applauded in the country. Honorable Speaker, I can tell you that we, the people of Banjul, don't see ourselves in this. And a clear manifestation is during the process of the flash flood when we created a display center where we accommodated almost 315 people, more than 68 families, including women, children, and men. And when I say women, I mean pregnant women. I personally went to the Ministry of Health and spoke to the PS concerning for them to provide us with an ambulance, which never happened. And I can tell you, one of the things that we encountered during the process, a woman almost delivered in my private car, which is undone. Because of what? There was no ambulance provided by the Ministry of Health during that time.
Observation, please, Trigger.
Just allow me to go on if it is an observation, please. The third thematic area have to do with the Ministry of Lands, Local Government, and Religious Affairs, which I am very much interested in. As a former worker, as a public servant who's worked with the Banjul City Council, understanding some of the constraints that the City Council is currently going on, and I also believe other councils in this country. But I'll be more specific, more particularly when it comes to the usage of land, that is the proper usage of land practiced in the city of Banjul. We have all seen what happened in Banjul during the flash flood. We have seen how the Tanbi wetland is being butchered, turned to another form, which for us, the people of Banjul, don't really appreciate, and we will never appreciate. And we are expecting for government to come up with strategies in terms of making sure that that situation is remedied, because it is one of the factors that we realize that it caused the flash flood. But going further, the construction of stores in the city of Banjul is another problem. What is the Ministry of Local Government and Lands doing through physical planning and land and survey in terms of making sure that they put regulations in terms of whoever want to construct, and also to make the people of Banjul understand the zoning of the city, more particularly when it comes to the residential and the commercial area of the city, which is indeed very important. Because to tell you the truth, the amount of stores that are erected in the city currently is turning the city to become a ghost city. Because people are forced to go to the combos instead, because they don't have anywhere to reside as far as the city of Banjul is concerned. And this is to the disadvantage of the people. So this is indeed a very big concern that I saw, and I believe it is important to be included as far as such an important speech is concerned, because like I always say, success will always happen if our dreams are bigger than our excuses. And that is the level we are as parliamentarians. And Honorable Speaker, if you don't mind, I will just quote from what you once said to us during a committee meeting. And I want to make it very clear here. If the president and the executive fail, it is us parliamentarians who fail. This we have to understand. And in doing so, we must try by all means to make sure that we work together internally and also work with the executive and make sure that we move this country forward. In that regard, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul North. I now invite the Honorable Member for Pony Bintang Karanai. I think he's around this time.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I will say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. That I have lived to witness a day like today. I will first start with education, as the President clearly states that they are registering great success in the sites of education. Time and again, Honorable Speaker, I wonder what type of success are they talking about? Especially when you look at the issue with the Ministry of Higher Education, specifically at the Gambia College. We change a government to better the situation, but not to worsen the situation. Then, as tradition has always been, usually there was no payment for the Gambia College. But students started paying the Gambia College in 2017. The payment started with $7,000. With the passage of time, now, if you are to do advanced diploma secondary, you are asked to pay $13,000. And $13,000 for the poor Gambian farmer, for the poor Gambian fisherman, is a difficult thing that we need to think of. Some of the students that wants to go to GTTI face the same struggle. Others that have admission at the university also face the same struggle. Now, in your own country, you could not have access to education. It is very painful indeed as a nation. What I definitely want to say is, I want everything that the nation or the president is going to tell us, let it be realistic in all the senses. The Gambians' hope were high that the education system will be better, but that is not what we are seeing, regardless of whatever is said here. Some of the students, after graduating from the Gambia College, both diploma and advanced diploma, will not have any place to be posted to. And the schools, some of the schools are without teachers. So I am definitely wondering what type of success did you register in the sites of education? We have also seen time and again, the teachers have suffered greatly indeed. How do you better their life? You are building classrooms, you are building quotas, but if teachers are not well paid, how can they perform better? Most of the government sectors or departments are receiving clothing allowance, but the teachers are not receiving clothing allowance. Can we think of way forward? Honorable Minister or Honorable Speaker, in the sites of education, during the conflict in the Fonies, the President clearly states that there was a patrol team that was set to patrol around the conflicting area. But after the conflict, because the patrol team never secured the people of Foni, but then after the conflict, the children were not going to school, or most of the students were not going to school. And they were not compensated for the lost hours. I channeled it to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, but nothing was done about it.
A point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Can we hear the point of order, Honorable Member?
I'm still insisting to rise on point of order 30, that members should really do favor for this assembly to debate on this matter before us. It reads, debate upon an emotion or amendment to a motion shall be relevant hereto, except in a case of motion of adjournment debate. Constituency issues are relevant, but you have a platform to say those things. Let's really peruse through the policy and program of government present to us and add value to it and critique. Thank you.
Honorable members, I think this is almost the third time running. Honorable members, when we started, I did caution that we try as much as possible to abide by our own standing orders that govern our operations here. So, honorable member, please note that and confine yourself to the speech of the President.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Speaker. Still with the speech of the President on the side of education, I am referring to. It is important that people receive equal opportunities in the nation. And I believe His Excellency, the Vice President, is here to clarify certain concerns that will be raised here. So this is why this was brought on board. Coming to the side of defense and security, the government or the President clearly addressed the National Assembly that they have received success. But I wonder which type of success did they receive when we still have foreign soldiers in our land? What is the government prepared to do about these foreign soldiers that are, should I say, colonizing us? Or what should we say? What mechanism did the government want to put in place to bring up our armed forces to take care of their full responsibility? Because this cannot continue. And I want to ask the Vice President to tell us, what is the Gambia doing? What are they spending on these foreign soldiers that are stationed here in the Gambia? Is the Gambia contributing anything towards it or not? Is that the reason as to why we are running into this funny economic situation? Or we definitely want to know. And in addition to that, we also want to know why most of the time our Gambian soldiers are not put at the forefront, but instead we have Senegalese soldiers all over. Going down to the Ministry of Agriculture, I think in all the ministries, they register success, but no challenges. In the Ministry of Agriculture, they told us that they register success. Without food self-sufficiency, I can't say it is success. Where a ministry is stationed in Banjul, which farm is in Banjul? Under normal circumstance, if we are interested in attaining food self-sufficiency, because on this issue, I can also give my suggestion. So let nobody call me to a point of order for distraction purpose, please. Under normal circumstance, if the nation is truly serious, if the government is truly serious in developing agriculture or attaining food self-sufficiency, they should have transferred the Ministry of Agriculture from Banjul to Jahalipata, from the story building to the rice field. Then we will definitely believe that they are in for national development or they are in to attain food self-sufficiency. Let the minister himself be there and all the technocrats. But how do you want to develop this nation like this? It's practical an impossibility. When it comes to the side of health, the major challenge that the Gambia is faced with today is the health sector. The health sector continues to cry day in, day out. Go to Ndemban Clinic. Most of the time, people will be there without treatment. I confirm it myself. For 3 to 4 days without having the type of, especially if they want to go in for certain surgery, it's always very difficult. And I believe His Excellency, the Vice President, and others are all here, and they should take note of this seriously. When we go down to electric supply, most of the places in the country, we are in the 21st century. Yes, yet there are many areas that are not having electric supply in this country. How is the government prepared to come down to our aid and support our people with electric supply? We still move on. Continue to mourn for the Queen. We are not mourning for our fishermen. We are not mourning for our farmers. We are not mourning for our security men who have struggled day in, day out. In fact, we are not mourning for our ancestors who struggled to liberate us from neo-colonialism. We are not mourning for them. So as a nation, Honorable Speaker, we should be very well prepared to take up the challenge. And as a nation, You should always prefer the young. You cannot have an individual who is there in the First Republic, Second Republic, and Third Republic, and you still telling us that the youth are not ready to take up the challenge. We are ready. And at times, at one point in time, we are humiliated by asking us to behave. As youths as we are ready for the challenge, and we are ready to develop our own nation at all costs. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Uni Bintang Karanai. And it's heartening that youths are willing to take up the challenge. And the duty attached to every right is what is required of you as you prepare to hand over the baton. We now have the Honorable Member for Fonyi Garol.
I interacted with him. I have seen the plans and then the thinking or the foresight he has. I also comment that he worked in that direction because this country needs to be saved. After making my commendation, let me start with the first page of the speech. We cannot continue here blaming 22 years of dictatorship. We say that that's the one that is holding our development down, but we forget to mention the other problem, which is ruining our institutions. Corruption. We never mentioned that one. They are harsh results of that. We are talking of institutional reforms. Fine. But I think those are just policy reforms because what we write to govern our institutions. But reform must come within ourselves because we are the ones who are going to drive those policies towards achieving our goal. Every institution have what it calls core values. Like the National Assembly, we have to live to either 7 of them, but I'm always familiar with 3. That is professionalism, integrity, and accountability. Leadership is difficult when you make it difficult for yourself because you work through people. And it is through people that we are going to achieve results. This is why I define leadership as L would stand for listen and learn. Are we listening and learning what is happening to our people? I am not here forced to comment anyone because I'm seeking for recognition. Because it's not a force on me to comment someone, but it is all about the Gambia, a country I call home. This is the only place I will call home. I would never undermine the development of this country for any political reason. And I'm here to make sure to point out the errors and then point out when it is correct to say thank you. So there are many people who are ready to work to make sure that Gambia moves to a different level, but we cannot continue 22 years of the change in Gambia was not through a barrel of gun. It was through what you people call democracy. Is that democracy that we are calling today? Are we enjoying? There are people saying in the street, it's better for them to go back to that dictatorship than living in this democratic situation, where people are killed every day, where people are stabbed every day, where people are going to bed hungry, where our youths are deported, where our youth are leaving schools without jobs. And then you are calling it still is the problem of the dictatorship. When people are going hungry, then we are not ready to fix the problems of this country. If you are not ready to face the challenge, why not we just resign so that Barrow take someone competent enough to take the lead. Because this is a report not prepared by Barrow. This is prepared by the ministers and directors. So this is what we have given him to read. Barrow is not there to know. So let us not fail Barrow and we continue pointing our problems to Barrow. Barrow is not alone in this. It is the leadership crisis that we have in this country that I continue to mention. Because the other thing because security for this country to develop, for me there are three components: security, education, and agriculture. Let me start with security. Because during our research period, I was going unnoticed. Some people know me. I visit security places. And then when I go there, I sit, buy attire. Sometimes I drink and see what is happening there. It's very sad. I don't know whether I'll just leave for, because sometimes before leaving, I know how much I give to the police, just empty my pocket, like someone who has something. The complaints coming from our securities, like my fellow honorable member has complained here, house rent at $250. Some of them even struggle fares to go to work. There are conditions. And then again, I'll see someone coming there to complain there is no transport. The whole of West Coast combined with KMC, unless I get it wrong, because I made the investigation, it's only 5 either good vehicles. For us in the Phoenix, there is nothing, because the one that is there is just post-mortem. I don't know how, if you can just even be, as a security officer, be allowed to board that vehicle that is going to maybe shut down crime. If we push the vehicle, we reach to our enemies, and then the vehicle refuses the engine to be on. I don't know what I'm going to do, whether now to surrender and give myself. Definitely our securities, and there is no development. We will never achieve any meaningful development without considering our securities. It's sometimes even sad. The securities will escort us to workshops, to meetings, give us protection. We'll eat and even forget them. This is something very sad. And these are the people we go to bed, sleep comfortable while they are out there, even Tobaskis. Those occasions, festivals, we derive them, but we don't consider them. It is very sad. We need to look at. If I say, like at the moment, because look at our even state house under foreign occupancy, someone don't like it. It's not politics. Because there's no country in this world where the state house is occupied by foreigners, the foreign security. It is very sad. The money we even spend on the foreign services, if we give it to our security, I believe we will be well protected. Now we are complaining. Every day people are starving and saying human rights. I don't know where we're quoting this human right, where it is coming from, whether Geneva or now Gambia. Because I don't think that's what the Geneva Convention says. Where people starve people and go free, or you go and bail 72 hours, they are gone. The person who died there, people are mourning. That one is okay. I'm just talking because of the problems that we are having here. Already people have mentioned it. Come to education, teachers, what they are facing. You just go there for yourself. I have been visiting schools. I go sit with the teachers and then listen to them. Sometimes people think that I'm the one to solve their problems. And then I'll tell them, no, this is going to be teamwork. We can never make any positive narrative in the country without working together, without living to our core values of organizations. Biggest transparency, accountability, and professionalism. Every institution you are, be it a NAM, a minister, a president, or a vice president, you have to live to those cores. You have to be accountable to what you do daily. You have to ask yourself, what benefits do my people have? That's why I said since day one, I am elected by a party or a group, but I'm here to represent the interests of this country. In fact, what is worse is no longer dictatorship here in this country. What is worse now is corruption, which we cannot employ. It might get something that should make an organization grow. The income, the profits that you make is taken by one person and he disappears, and then that is democracy. Or he goes the next minute, the government lost the case, and then they say it's democracy. I don't understand when the government is losing cases. and people are saying that that is now democracy because government lost cases. It means governments are not ever. It's a group behind you to make sure that we achieve results. The Gambia people are crying. Every institution, you know that people are crying. I said it here that no institution is working. Everything is moving backwards. People are not happy. I said I'm not here to look for any political recognition. I am not here for somebody to say that he's a good guy. Those who know me know who I am already. What we can do here is see the interest of this country. I have seen in the report there, or in the speak there, that 40% of the remittance come from people living abroad. What is happening to these people at the airport? There is already a project there that, don't quote me wrong, because I'm not aware of it, if it has come to the parliament, whether before, that is collecting 2,000. That some are saying that the parliament, it did not come to the parliament, so I don't know which is which. But this is making us lose a lot of businesses because many people now, even Gambians, go through Senegal just to avoid paying that 2,000. I will not lose the economic benefits here. Look at again the trade policies of this country. I sometimes wonder when we sit here and we start saying we and Senegal, we are one. Yes, we are one, we are not two. We are one. But a driver from Senegal can take about maybe 30 vehicles coming from Senegal. They can come into the Gambia with no disturbances, nothing. They can come in, no one will even charge them anything less than passe. Ask those 30 drivers to go back to Senegal. Even a bag of sugar, even a cup of sugar, they will take it from you. And then still we are promoting we are one. We have already lost our ports to Senegal. And this is a place that can boost the economy of this country. But we are still saying that we and Senegal are one. Why not we are doing that in Senegal, to be one? We lost everything, but all this is compromised because of the so-called dictatorship. That's what makes we are people. That's why we compromise everything to foreigners. It's better for foreigners to rule us than what we call dictatorship. And most people are better off today because of that dictatorship. Today we have schools everywhere because of what you people are calling dictatorship. Security posts everywhere because of what you people are calling dictatorship. That are established. So we have to stop looking at the bad and then
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Can we hear the point of order? Honorable member.
Honorable nominated Kebalang Fufana.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on point of order 30. Debate upon any motion or amendment to a motion or upon any bill, part of a bill or amendment to a bill shall be relevant thereto, except in case of a motion for debate on the adjournment of the assembly. Honorable Speaker, I want to submit that the honorable member is speaking out of emotions. The address by the president to the National Assembly did not contain anything about the previous government. So, and when we talk about dictatorship, we are talking about the government of Yaya Jammeh. So I humbly submit that he withdraw that statement. Thank you. I beg to take my seat.
I am sorry that I'm not going to withdraw that statement.
Honorable member. I think this is about the fourth time members are quoting this particular standing order to remind ourselves so that we can confine ourselves to the speech of His Excellency the President. I have said it myself that the President's speech is cross-cutting. Cross-cutting in the sense that it has touched almost all spheres. But let's be specific to those areas that he has touched. When it comes to your adjournment debate, you want to talk about your constituency or what you believe in, you can take that up, please. Let's restrict ourselves to the content of the President's speech as much as we can.
Thank you very much. I don't think I'm debated. I have debated because if you look at the speak there, page 4, paragraph number 3, when you read that, very complex and challenging circumstances inform my address this morning. It portrays the experience of a transformational nation, a nation of peace, living people who stood up to who stood up to dictatorship in a peaceful manner. So we stood to a dictatorship in a peaceful manner. Maybe it causes a lot of problems. But what I'm also trying to say, there is another problem also that is ruining the institutions. And then this problem is what? Corruption. Is it mentioned here? We don't have to only mention what favors us. We have to mention the core problems of what is holding us as a nation to move forward. This is what I'm just saying. So I'm quoting examples and experience because I said this is well written, and then the country need to move. We need to work as one people. But what is also
Honorable member,
yes, please.
let's not beat about the bush on this issue. You can go ahead, but confine yourself to the content of the speech by the president. Please.
Okay. Sorry, thank you very much. Let me go back to security again. You look at the revised budget, the amount that was approved, and this is for Minister of Interior. We are saying, is it 1,318,313,037 butts. And then when you look at the Ministry of Interior.
Honorable member, when you are making reference to the speech, you can help honorable members, tell them the page and the paragraph.
I mean the budget speech is in the page because I just wrote it. I don't bring the book.
Okay, a budget speech?
Yeah, the budget speech,
okay,
the amount,
okay.
That's what I'm quoting. Because if you look at maybe the problems that these security institutions are having, like if you look at immigration department, and then you look at fire service and then precincts, we only approve the total figure, but these institutions don't know how much institutions should get. Because some of their complaints, maybe they make their request, at the end they will tell them there is no money. When we are fully approved, that's why maybe this year we will look into every institution, how much is budgeted, and then what is prepared for them. We need to improve also agriculture, because like this year already the farming, I'm a farmer. During the recess, I was in the village. I cannot even buy fertilizer because of the cost. And then many farmers there are complaining because of the cost. And then some even want to buy, difficult for them even to see where this fertilizer is. So I think we need to do something about it. And then tractors again is a problem. I remember even before becoming a parliamentarian, 2 years back, 2019, the rice fields that I supported in Fonyi-Jaro, you go there, I have taken photos of everything, the production that year increased. Because I'm saying that not everything has to be government. We can play our role as individuals, because this is the only country that we call home. I am not here to oppose somebody because I came through the opposition ticket, but I am here to make sure that the Gambia moves from maybe a better state to an excellent state. That's what my interest is. A country where employment, not everybody will be employed, but we have to create jobs through what microfinance projects for our people. Because remember, the deportation is harming our youth. Most people are coming back, added to those who are graduating from schools. So we need to make sure that do something, the initiative. This is why I said I listened to the speech of the Minister of Higher Education, and I've listened to the Vice President. I am very much impressed. I'm not here to say to please you people, but I am going to rely on you to make sure we change the narrative. The more people are here, the more people are jobless, it's not going to be a good thing for this country. I will say it and repeat that one. The more people are jobless, we will continue experiencing these crimes. People starving people for no reason. People killing people for no reason. I don't know now whether each of us has to be a soldier. Like America, we buy our own guns so that you don't allow criminals to kill you. So we have to look into this properly. We need a better Gambia, not the Gambia that we are today. Let's now stop looking back and look forward. The past 5 years, we've been looking back. I think we have learned our experiences there, where we went wrong. And now it's up to us now to correct where we went wrong so that we take Gambia to the right place, to the dreamland. I thank everyone for listening.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi-Jaro. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyanija. Is he around? No. Not around. Honorable Member for Ilyasa. Is he around? Okay.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. But first of all, I want to recognize the presence of the Vice President and ministers present here. my colleagues, the honorable members. I want to join my colleagues, the honorable members, to thank His Excellency the President, Barrow, for his speech. Definitely, it was a very good one. As I can understand from his speech, there were some improvements in the other departments, and the other departments there are some declines. So far, that's normal because we cannot have everything 100%. I believe that some departments, they have registered tremendous improvement. Like education, I was a teacher before, and I know how much we encounter in the education before. It's unlike today. Definitely there is improvements. If you go to some schools today, it is definitely impressive when you look at the structures. Before, classrooms were not enough for students. But definitely today, many classrooms, new classrooms were built all over the Gambia. I think that is an improvement in that sector. If you come to agriculture also, they've registered a tremendous improvement. Tractors were supplied to various regions in the country, and definitely those tractors, the farmers are making best use of those tractors, and they make the sector to improve in our farming. So we have problem in the Gambia. When we say people are not ready to work, it is true, especially youths. It is a problem. Our youths, the majority are very lazy. They don't want to venture into farming. And then, as we all know, farming nowadays is very profitable.
Speaker, point of observation, please.
That if you want to observe the person taking the floor, you look at him. If he sits down, you take the floor. If he does not sit down, he continues.
Honorable, kindly give me the floor, please. I want to observe.
Thank you.
I kindly want to appeal to you that we stop discriminating our young people by referring to them as young assets. Please, it's disheartening. Please, please. And I hope you can withdraw that statement, please.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I don't think I will withdraw my statement because I'm saying that some, not all of them, not all of them. So obviously I'm not going to withdraw my statement.
That's fine, you can continue, but it's disheartening to also put it to you.
Thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much. On the side of interior, there also there's improvement because I was privileged to visit a barrack, which is Farafenya Army Camp. I had a lengthy discussion with the commander there. And then the problems were numerous. But I had a second visit there, That day I was very happy because he confessed to me that there was improvement. But the improvement, I can dilate on it. One is vehicle. He told me that the government gave them 2 pickups. Trucks, 2. And then pertaining to their shelter also, my first visit, he told me that shelter was a problem there. But my second visit, he was pleased to inform me that that would be a history because government is building a story building whereby many soldiers will be in the campus. So that area also is under improvement. So here, I want to seize this opportunity to appeal to my fellow honorable members for us to come together as a team and that we first see the Gambia as our country, as one people. Our ultimate aim and objective should be to move this country forward, not backward. I think we have a role to play as honorable members. The success of the president, definitely we have a role to play there. The failure of the president is a failure to all of us. The success of the president is a success to all of us. This is why it is important we try and support the president in his development agendas. I'm not saying his political agendas, because there we have different feelings. But as far as his development agenda is concerned, then there we have a vital role to play there. We should support him to make sure that we all succeed. Again, as National Assembly members, our Quran and our Bible is the constitution under our standing order. Let us always try and refer ourselves in anything that we are doing here in this honorable house. In doing that, I think we will succeed, and then we will take the right direction. But without referring ourselves to the Constitution and the standing order, things will always fall apart. So I therefore urge, and then I call on my honorable members to put our hands together to make sure we serve the country to the best of our ability. And we see to it that we serve this country during our tenure in the office. Because if we do better, then that will be good for the country, and it is going to be a legacy for us. So I thank you very much for giving me the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Ileasa. I now give the floor to Honorable Member for Woodley East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And I will also join my colleagues to thank the President for fulfilling his constitutional mandate to come to this august body to explain to us how his government is running the country. Honorable Speaker, the President said something at page 63. I think that's almost the last page. On bullet point 15, where he is speaking to us in the interest of the nation, that it is imperative that this House work along bipartisan lines, not to see this House as NPP or as UDP or as DOE, but as a House. We work together to fulfill the people's aspirations and safeguard the honor of those who choose us to represent them. I think that's a very commendable paragraph there. And if we all read that, I think, and we abide by that, we work together as a team, we will achieve something for these 5 years. But I want to make an observation that if the President wants this House to work together by petition, when he is coming here, he should come by petition, not as petition. Because all the icons and all the T-shirts I have seen here are NPP. And there are many. They fill this House top and down. Make all the dancing and all the singing all around this place. That's not
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
That's not by partisan.
Point of order, Honorable
When you
Speaker.
are coming to this House, I'm not giving you.
Point of order. You must sit down.
Point of order.
It's a point of order.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on clause 3030. That honorable member speak on the President's speech, not about the jamboree that took place outside.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member, are you ready?
Member was complaining about the Yaya campaign here and there. I said that is not the speech we are discussing. We are discussing the President's speech, not the Yaya campaign that accompanied the President. Thank you.
I would suggest that you may respond in your own when you're talking. He made reference to a paragraph where the President talked about all of us working together, and he saw it differently. So majority, if you have your floor, you can say your own side.
Yes, I know the majority leader does not want us to talk about that because that's a weak point. But if we want to work together by partisan, that's how it should happen. I think we want to transform this country, and our manners and way of doing things should also begin to transform. I think that will help us. Honorable Speaker, I will want to also say that the President, in his introductory remark, said that because of the complex, challenging circumstances, those circumstances have informed his address, which he said portrays the experience of a transformed nation. That's what he said. Honorable Speaker, I would concur with the President. But what I would not concur is that this country is transformed. This country is far from being transformed. Simply engaging in a change of government does not signify a transformed country. A lot more needs to be done to attain the status of a transformed country. Many people spoke about education. Others speak about enlightenment. These are all issues. Others spoke about attitudinal change. Before we transform a country, ourselves must be transformed. You cannot see the truth and you refuse to accept it, and you call yourself a transformed person. You will not see corruption taking place, and you refuse to accept the corruption, and you start giving excuses. Everybody is to blame. How can you blame everybody for the corruption that is taking place in the country? I'm not in a position to steal public funds. Public funds are stolen. And you said, I am responsible. You know, that is not true. So we are not transformed when we do things like that. And we are National Assembly members. We must begin to accept truth when we see it. Honorable Speaker, when you want to transform a country, you need to create a solid base for investment. I've not seen a solid base being created for investment. I've not seen much attracting investment. If you look at the President said, he said remittances are bringing about $777 million within a short period. Our own brothers and sisters are bringing that. But if you look at remittances for the full 5 years, the investment for the whole 5 years, it is not even up to that. So, also, when you want to create a transformed country, Honorable Speaker, you will plan at stages what you need to attain. And even your operational implementation of that plan will also be planned. But you have Vision 2020, you come, another one, but you will not be able to implement. It's just on paper. It will not be implemented. How will you attain transformed country? You cannot attain it. As I said, education and enlightenment. You go to the institution that is responsible for educating and enlightening the citizenry. They have nothing. Go to the budget and see the civic education sector. They have almost nothing. They cannot do anything. Unless it is, election time or something, they move about and do something. Otherwise, they're not able to do much. So if we come to finance, Honorable Speaker, you will see that the President himself said it. He said the finance sector will cast light on the underlying challenges and circumstances and the considerations that influence the decisions they take. The finance dictates everything, he says, which I concur. If you don't have it right, all the other things will fall out. So the economy and finance is the most important. And I agree with him totally. We must do everything to ensure that we give the right analysis to the type of financial sector that we are creating so that everything will fall in place. But he went on to say that it is because of COVID-19 pandemic, growth rebounded to 405 in 2021. Okay, let's accept that statistics. It said, although the growth remained below the pre-pandemic levels, it was still significant. However, the slowdown of business activities in 2020 and the third wave of the virus in July 2021 affected the economy's recovery. So instead of 4.5 growth, because of the other pandemic and the third wave and all that, our projection has been reduced to 3.6%. And well, the way I see things going, if we don't mind, it may not be 3.6, it may go down. We may come back again and reduce the projection because we are not taking the right steps. Honorable Speaker, the President said in point 3 on the finance that revenue collection has reduced by 14% against the same period in 2021. And this, in fact, informed the action that we have taken to revise the budget. Somebody is blaming ordinary people for not paying area council tax. This is not about area council tax. This is about other taxes the central government is collecting. Those compound taxes are area council. We are talking about the national budget. So collecting tax, every effort must be done. They say it's tax economy, tax base. Government will not get into any production, any of that. It will be dependent entirely on collecting tax. That's the main one. So we must take that seriously. If you want to pay civil servants, if you want to do anything, you have to take tax. You have to collect tax. So what do we do? What do we put in place to ensure that we collect the tax that is necessary to collect? Honorable Speaker, that's the question I am asking. What plans or mechanisms are put in place for the long-term growth of the economy? What plans? Actually, what plans have they put in place? I hear the President was talking about 2050, to come up with a plan that will transform this country. By 2050, talking about a plan that will take us to that. Because otherwise, if we don't plan, and we don't stick to our plan and create the basis for the economy, that means every little thing that comes, our projections will go down. When little pandemic comes from somewhere, it will go. When Ukraine will go down. Anything that comes will go down. We'll continually be in crisis because the world is full of crisis. So we must plan ourselves. We must be ready to create an economy so that the shocks, I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, please tell the majority leader to stop disrupting me. I don't do that to you when you speak. All right. So that's what we need to do. Create an economy, plan it in such a way, based on our capacities, to ensure that small things anywhere will not disrupt our economy. But if we are just tax-based, then anything that comes will have to disrupt us. Look at Ukraine, which is there, the other side of the world. And somebody said in phone, his own initiative, producing rice. My people in Woolly have their own initiative, producing rice. I think some of the members went to Sutukov, to the rice. That is our own initiative. It's now government is coming in there. But since government come there with the Gambia Rice Value Chain Project, all the things that are supposed to be done are not done. It's something like 4-year or 5-year project. But then they should give them, how do you call it, a store, which should keep something like 50 tons. They should give them a machine to pull water from the river. They should level the ground for them, the rice field for them, 200 hectares. We ratify it here. But when these people go to those people, instead of telling them this is what we need to give you, they will ask them, what do you need? And the project is there. They should develop the road to the right speed. You went through the road. That road is village initiative. They should make a better road. But every year you go there, it's like nothing is started. So 5 years, 3, 4 years, 5 years will go, it will phase out, and then they call it a failed project. And the president is very proud that something like eight projects are going on. 8 projects are going on, agriculture. But then all those ones will phase out, and they will fail, and will bring another 10 projects, and nothing will work. Because you just give things to, they said it to you people. They said when they have a project, they give it the money directly to the ministries. It's like the finance, it's in the Auditor General's report. The finance ministry is not aware of it. I don't know, accountant general is not very much aware. It's directly in the hands of people. It just go directly. And they don't even want to mention it so that when we come to do budgeting here, it will not affect them. You hear that? It will not affect them, so that we can continue to give them what we give them, irrespective of what grants or projects they have. We need every information that is required when we are making budget, so that we'll be able to budget properly. But if they continue to hide information from us and from the ministers, how can we come and make a better budget for the country? This is what is affecting us. So we have 8 projects, big projects. $294 million. It will go into drain. It will not make much effect. Because once the project phase out, there is no backup. The budget will not support the projects. And when the budget does not support them, the people on the ground, the beneficiaries, in fact, every project they say, 40% goes to the beneficiary and 60% remains with those who are implementing. So they buy very expensive. Yesterday, I think I was going with somebody. Very expensive vehicle. And I know it's a project vehicle. Just plowing between here and there. Those people hardly go to the beneficiary. So that's what they buy from project money. So we are just taking loans, giving it to projects, but then they go in the drain, and then the country continues to become more and more indebted. So we need to have a mechanism and a plan as to how to curb that type of corruption in the country. So that the productive base that we require, we need to build, will be built alongside with the tax collection. Because if you just make a tax collection and you don't support any other person or institution or organization to create the productive base, it will not be, because the farmers are poor. Farmers are poor. The type of farming that the world is looking for now to feed a world. Our population, when I was young, the population was 400,000. In fact, it started when I was young, it was something like 200,000. Now, before I leave school, it was 400-something thousand. Now it's 2 million. So it's growing, this small country. But we are not ready to do the production. We are crying because of Ukraine. Gambia is crying. We do not have rice. We do not have this because of Ukraine. We'll continue to do that. Even if Iraq and that place fight, we will say also it's because of Iraq and that. Honorable Speaker, let's go to bullet point 4 of the same page. I believe is of page 8. I think it's 8. Where he's talking about yes, I think it's page 8. Page 8. 4, bullet point 4. He said, notwithstanding the challenges, the fourth review of the extended credit facility with the IMF was successfully completed in December 2021. So when you go to IMF for a credit facility, these are very big languages. The vocabulary is big, extended facility. It will not say it is a loan. It will not say it's a grant. It will just say a facility. But it's a loan. And when you say extended facility, credit facility, so we need to understand that. Because we are scrutinizing them. So if we don't know what is extended credit facility, we'll not be able to follow this. Because this is, they have not mentioned any amount there. And it's a loan. How much did the government take from the IMF in this credit facility, extended credit facility, in 2021? We need to know that, but it's not mentioned. But I know in 2017, there was a credit facility which was to the tune of 16.8, $16.1 million. And I know from 2017 to something like 2019 or 2018, there was another credit facility. So in 2021 also, there is a credit facility. So the credit facility is there. It's like every time you fall into a difficulty, we go to the IMF and we said we need loan because we have difficulties. Mainly, it used to be balance of payment difficulties. But then they will say they will add Ukraine there, and they will say because tax collection is going down. So when they put these things there, then they'll convince the IMF to give them this credit facility. And the facility is there. I know in 2017, the facility, what was there for us was something like 18.6%. So they took something like 16.1, but eventually they told the IMF, just give everything to us because we require everything. So everything was given to us. So this credit facility, they say balance of payment difficulty. That means that if Gambia wants to import commodities from outside, but they don't have the foreign exchange. So they take this credit facility to be able to do that, and so on and so forth. In fact, in addition to paying civil service, everything can come into that. But it's mainly the lack of foreign exchange. That's why we go into that. That's the main reason. So if we continue to not to plan, but every year we think about, and anytime we have difficulty, we can go to the IMF. The IMF is ready to give. Because those people are there for nothing else but to give loans. Their people are employed in that, and they make profit. Because if you are paying them, you will pay them in dollars. So they never lose. So every time you go there, you just give them a flimsy excuse. My country is suffering because of this, and there is a drought, water did not come, the rain did not come properly, so they will give you credit facility. And now, our debt, this is how our debt is growing. In addition to our bilateral debts, these are multilateral debts. They are growing. And now they have gone to 80-something billion dollars. That's why the president is saying here that we are going to pay $5.01 billion in 2022. In 2021 was 5.01 billion. And in our budget, it's grown. What we allocated for debt repayment, debt service, is 5.29 billion, if I remember very well. So it's growing. Every year we will take more of our budget, what we should use in our country, we will take it and give it to international lenders to repay debt. That's why when we complain about debt, loans, people should listen. We must come with mechanisms to reduce that debt. Because if we don't, it will continue until it becomes 100% of our budget. What are we going to do? And our statutory obligations are, I will not, no, okay. Honorable Speaker, I want to move a motion to extend the time to complete my speech. So that tomorrow we will continue. How many minutes? Any second.
Honorable member, I will give you a chance because at 6 o'clock we will adjourn until tomorrow.
Yeah.
the motion should be moved 30 minutes before 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we've passed that. I have decided here that I will give you a chance. When you finish, we will adjourn until tomorrow we continue.
Okay. Yeah. First right. If you want to cut me down tomorrow, when I come, I can come. There is no such thing like this. Okay, anyway. So, Honorable Speaker, the President also talked about BNR. That's voluntary, I think, voluntary national relief review. And what he said here, all what I'm going to recommend here is that let us have that document. That's BNR. I will request that we request that from the ministry, the BNR, because what my memory tells me is that the recommendation is for Gambia to do a lot of sensitization, you know, and education on how we can develop the social safety nets. Because if you look at how we go about that, you know, it's a concern. So that was the recommendation, but here he said everything went nicely and they commended us. But anyway, if we get the document, it will inform us all the more. Honorable Speaker, let me come out of the... Yes. So, if you go to, I think it's the Foreign Affairs, where I talk about remittances. So remittances are now, according to the President, 40%. Huh? According to the President, who read this? Stop interrupting me, otherwise I will do the same thing to you. He said 40% of $777 million remittances is equal to 40% of the GDP. So now, the remittances have overtaken tourism. It has overtaken agriculture. You understand? Now it looks like, if you look at it very well, it has also overtaken investment. So it is now, remittances are our most important foreign exchange earner in the country. So we should not play it. What plans do we have? Because this is mainly brought here by our Gambian brothers and sisters abroad. So what mechanism have we put in place to consolidate this so that we, at least this one, we don't lose. We lose agriculture, we lose tourism. Let's not lose remittances. What plans, actual plans do we put, mechanisms do we put in place to ensure that those people who are bringing these remittances can also be supported to get into partnerships, etc., so that, you know, they will not just bring their money and then they build their house and then the money is finished and they go back. Because that is the reason why anytime they want to come, it's a problem, because there is no way to sustain them here. But if we help them to create something for them, we can keep them here and can build the economy, then they'll be able to come back. After some years, they'll just come to the country and they'll be able to live in their country. So they will not be living outside for eternity. Honorable Speaker, I'm trying to summarize, because now the time is not. I've already dealt with the agriculture, because I believe that the projects, the President was talking about $17 million to sustain, even after they have, yes, that's what he was talking, $17 million. Which is distributed to, that is the President's office, I believe, when it comes to social safety nets. That is in relation to the BNR. So if you distribute 17 million among, for example, it's an example, I don't know how they have done it, but if you distribute it among 23,000, according to the President, so it means that each person will get 700, if it is equal. So I don't think this information even is necessary to be in the present SONA address. Because it's so minimal, 17 million divided, given to 23,000 beneficiaries for organization, whatever. I don't think it's worth putting it in the present report, for the present to read that. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to environment, environment is also a very key area. Because if you go to our area, if you read the present SONA address, it looks like what he said about environment appears too nice. It should not be that nice. Because if you go to the provinces now, they are cutting wood like mad people. It's like there is no law. These people just go into the bush and cut any wood, all the duto, all the cano, everything is going. And soon we will find ourselves into a desert. So we must have a mechanism to reduce the harvest of wood because it's unscrupulous. And in fact, even those who are supposed to protect the forestry people are conniving with the unscrupulous people to harvest all this wood without restraint. Honorable Speaker, when you come to bullet point 4 on the transport relating to the capital city of Banjul, when you read it, that's transport. I will not take your time because it is saying it is including sewerage. It's not only bituminizing the road, but it's also including and drainage. But then a simple rain came to Banjul. Huh? Well, I call it simple because it's not supposed to happen that way. Huh? One rain. You want to call it big? Okay, one big rain came, and then Banjul nearly submerged. That means that sewage is not working. Did this project put into that consideration? And Honorable Speaker, this is a project that did not come here. We have no knowledge of this project. We just hear about rumors. And they say it's a pre-finance contract that they have given to the contractor will finance, and then after he has financed, build the road and everything, will come and calculate everything and tell them this is the amount I have spent. And then the government takes the responsibility. I think that type of exercise is not a good practice. I believe that since it is not an external loan, but it's internal, there must be another way of doing that so that we know exactly what is happening. But this parliament was completely, absent from that arrangement. Because it is not a loan. If it is a loan, it will come here. But because it is not a loan, it's not a grant, so it did not come here. So we did not know. But then the agreement is done behind closed doors. And then the contractor started working. And then even here, we are not informed how much has been spent on that contract. We should have been informed, but we are not informed. It's just say, yeah, Banjul, we have, make the roads and all these things, and then we'll continue to beautify Banjul. How much has been spent on that pre-finance contract to beautify Banjul should be known to us. But we will call them, they will tell us how much they have put in. Honorable Speaker, I'm not ready. And thank you for your patience.
You promised that you are winding up.
No, I did not say that. I said I'm fast.
You are summarizing, you said.
Honorable Speaker, when you come to youth and sports, a lot of initiative is taking place in the provinces. People are, look, be patient.
Honorable member, may I know one thing? Because it looks like I underestimated you.
You underestimated me?
Yeah, because when I was giving
I just started and then you started.
Honorable member, please. When I was giving you chance, Yes, I worked it up to 6 o'clock. I gave you at 15, at 5:30. Yes. Believing that within the next 30 minutes,
just give me 2 minutes, I will finish.
Okay then.
Just 2 minutes. It's just this, they want to disturb the whole situation, but it will not happen. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to youth and sport, we all know how passionate our youth are into sport. I take example of my own village. When youth are themselves contributing to fence their football team and they want a mini stadium, what is there for the Ministry of Youth to support such initiatives? That will be very useful because if people take such initiatives, we encourage them. They see that the government is not doing it, they're trying to do it for themselves. But at least if they fence the field, government can also come and just put them a very good villa, pavilion, so that when the rains come, it will not disturb the match. I think such initiatives will also help. Also, a lot of talent is in the provinces. I don't know whether it is tough, especially in football. All the youths are engaged in football, and very important talents are there. So how do we scout such talent? What can we do to ensure, because their objective is to play outside, to be able to, help their parents. If you cannot create jobs for them, but if you can create an avenue for them to be able to go somewhere else to, so that they can be seen, they can be noticed, and be able to sign and go. I think that is something that we need to encourage. 1 minute, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, under the Vice President, on bullet point 3, page 31, it said something like they have disbursed $450,000 for rice, oil, sugar, mattresses, and other essential items to support 1,161 Senegalese affected by the Sanyan riot. I don't know if I look at that, and I just make it into monetary terms, and then I divide it into, make it small arithmetic, and then I discover that it is something like, it's like each person will receive $270. $70. Yes. So really, we need to look at that. If we are at least helping people who are in disaster, we give them some support. At least that will keep them at least for a month. But something that will keep you for only 1 day, I don't think is something worth to put in the presence of an address. Because we will calculate, we will make this small arithmetic. On that note, I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your patience.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Woodley East. Let me thank honorable members who have contributed and those of you who are yet to contribute for taking time to be with us. Your Excellency, the Vice President and Cabinet Ministers here present, we want to thank you. You've made us proud. You are able to sit all day long to listen to honorable members. Honorable members, be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Tuesday, 20th September 2022. Yeah. Yeah. Honorable members, as per provisions of Standing Order 13.1, no, 13.1, yeah, 13.1, the House stand adjourned until tomorrow, Tuesday, 20th September 2022 at 10 a.m. prompt, when we will continue the debate on the President's address. Thank you very much.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
o chimchina tong du chakwi kanjakawi Washington tem kaw unor mak di bitende bampani vinkre pisiyam puya ko nkatu lemp nkati kata nkaw unor mak du seni o chim pichanga timo ebe nirano bu tingi ja tukan legi kitub ki pichanga timo the Washington COVID-19 Relief Fund ika buko wulu umil uncham US dollar uncham wi chitba tiet ndika look teburka yepu pulukoko kambeku na bukul brika fakul brika wulkul pisien teburka wulkul ice te ko yirika norano wi uchim ngalka kai katar uchaku munto bitendi bi pour putup ki pichanga timo pour kabul o chim purat pour pijawkul ba pichen ko tim pour pi kab tindi ti ngaldi mo njakul play application bi ka joti ti pli November pli September munun taja ngino was ka te pli November munun taja ngino go baake te koy ci tibuluk ci free u chim ngal ba juraru legi tipanki bof na ba ñaka ki wo wak ko juraru legi
Wato bá jẹ́ arìnrìn àjò tó ń gbé ní ìlú Washington State ó lè gba lóònù ìjọba ó lè gba unemployment insurance because on ṣọmọ nílùú arìnrìn-àjò ní ẹ́ foreigner ní ẹ́ immigrant ní ẹ́ and torí gbogbo nǹkan tó ti experience during COVID-19 gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó experience àwọn tó là kọjá àwọn nǹkan tó go through àwọn nǹkan tó là kọjá ní COVID-19 period yẹn nígbà COVID-19 now ó ní nǹkan tó lè gbà wọ́n pè ní Washington COVID-19 relief fund ó lè gbà yẹn now ọ̀fẹ́ ni ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti approve ẹ̀ tó bá fọwọ́ sí wàá gba ní èdè Yorùbá ẹgbẹ̀rún kan dọ́là ìyẹn tó pé $1,000 ẹ má bínú Yorùbá mi o $1,000 ó máa gbà ìyẹn ò wá kí n ṣe loan kò sí ní tó fẹ́ san padà wọn gbó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ọkọ̀ fún ẹni gbogbo information tó fún wọn nǹkan táwọn consider ni nǹkan tó là kọjá so wọn bájọba ṣiṣẹ́ ó wà safe wọ́n tọ́jú ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ wà protected wọn ò ní sọ fún ìjọba, wọn ò dẹ̀ ní sọ fún ICE, wọn ò ní sọ fún anybody. Information is safe. O lè tó bá fẹ́ contact àwọn WAWAC, o lè ṣe lédè Yorùbá gan pàápàá. Ètò yìí ó wà available láti September 19 títí di November 14 and ọ̀fẹ́ dẹ̀ ni. Bí mo ṣe sọ tẹ́lẹ̀, tó bá fẹ́ ràn lọ́wọ́ bá àwọn WAWAC sọ̀rọ̀ nísinsìnyí.
On 253-235-2132 or email us info@wawac.org.
si tawi ko a koɗoɗa hoɗi e toŋƴa Washington State a heɓali e ɗe jawle iwrayɗe ka laamu jano ma unemployment insurance on sabu koɗu yagal ma ka Washington ton te am fewtodiri e caɗele ɗuɗuɗe fewndo o COVID-19 pandemic dogu joni yaha waɗa apply fi o COVID-19 immigrant relief fund sa waɗi apply tawi noon ɓe jaɓi hiɗa wawi heɓude ko ɓuuri e fanɗude wulure dola ɗum ɗo no wona ñamande kadi a yoɓata hay fus afta information ji maɗi noon no e juuɗe laaɓuɗe min meeɗata sendidude ɗi e laamu ngu ma min jonna ɗi ɓe annduɗa ko ɓen noddirte ay hiɗa wawi wadde apply ma noddamen min wallitoma waɗa apply e fula ma ka pulaar ɗum ɗo noon fuɗɗoto ila September 19 2022 yaha ha ndu lewru potondu ɓe innata November 14 2022 ala no yoɓugol hay fus ko free si a faala noon min walla ma waɗa apply e pulaar hiɗa wawi noddude Washington West African Centre
If you're an immigrant within a Washington state and you're not fit for the federal stimulus fund or unemployment insurance and you've been there for hard times during the coronavirus pandemic, you can apply for the Washington COVID-19 Relief Fund. If your application they don't approve them, you can benefit at least $1,000. Not a lento, na give them give and you no go return them back. The information where they give them, they go keep them safe for you. They no go give them ICE or then share them with no government. You can apply for yourself or we can help you apply for the Aku language. The application is open from September 19, 2022 to November 14, 2022 and na free. If you want me to help you with the application, you can contact WAWAC right now.
Si vous êtes un immigrant vivant dans l'État de Washington, vous n'êtes pas éligible aux fonds de relance fédéraux ou à l'assurance chômage en raison de votre statut d'immigration. Et vous avez vécu des moments difficiles à cause de la pandémie de COVID-19. Vous pouvez demander le Washington COVID-19 Immigrant Relief Fund. Si votre demande est approuvée, vous pourriez recevoir un paiement d'au moins $1,000. Ce n'est pas un prêt et vous n'aurez rien à rembourser. Vos informations sont en sécurité et protégées. Il ne sera jamais volontairement partagé avec le gouvernement ou ICE. Il ne sera pas publié pour vous empêcher d'avoir des documents. Si vous souhaitez obtenir de l'aide gratuite avec votre application en français, l'application est ouverte du 19 septembre 2022 au 14 novembre 2022. L'application est toujours gratuite. Vous pouvez contacter WAWAC.
Eligible for federal stimulus funds or unemployment insurance due to your immigration status, and you have experienced